Hello my crafty friends, it's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and today I'm going to be making a shaker card. This is going to be a slimline card. I thought I would take some of the pattern paper from my stash. It kind of has a vintage look, and I am going to use these circle dies, which are stitch circle dies from Brutus Monroe. They're old, but any circle die that you have will work. I apologize for the traffic. I have cut them out twice because I want these to be ornaments that I am going to put my shaker windows behind. And then I'm going to take this red foil cardstock and take that same circle that I used to cut out my pattern paper and then the next size up, and I'm going to attach them together so that I can get a foiled frame to cover up that hole so it gives it more of a finished look. So I'm just using some mint tape and my Bitty Buzz cutter, which is from Honeybee Stamps, to do this die cutting. And I'm going to cut them out twice so that I will have 2 frames. I was going to try to squeeze a third one to have 3 ornaments, but I figured if I didn't do it just right, I would have not left myself a lot of room for foam tape, so I opted to keep it to just 2. So I'm just showing you there what that frame will look like, and then I will cut out the other one. So this is just a bonus Christmas card, not part of the Countdown to Christmas series. That next video will be out on Friday. I can't believe that we're winding down to the last, we're single digits of projects left. So I do try to put out an extra video each week. So if you have things that you'd like to see me create or have things that I haven't done yet and you would like me to try, definitely leave me a comment down below. I would be happy to see what I could do. So now I'm just going to take some tape runner and run it around the outside of these holes so that I can adhere some acetate. This is, that's going to be my shaker window. And I'm going to just trim this down to fit. The first time I did it, I trimmed it down too small, so I had to turn around and get another piece of acetate. But I actually made this one piece work for both of the holes. So then I am just going to take some of this extra tall skinny foam tape, and the name of the company is going to escape me, but if your foam tape isn't deep, you could double it up, and like if you're using 3M foam tape, I would fold it in half on itself and then cut it down the center so that you have some skinnier strips. And then I am going to also put it on the inside, each side of the hole, so that way my shaker bits, while they move around, won't be through that entire section of, without any foam tape. They would just fall to the top and bottom. So I wanted to kind of trap where they were going to be allowed to go. And then once I have that, I am taking a shaker mix, which is unfortunately from an Etsy shop that is no longer in business. These were sparkle blends. I have a ton of them, so I am working my way through my stash. But they have just little red, white elements. There's little Santas in here. There are companies that do similar mixes that you could find something comparable or create your own from your stash. If you have multiple sequins, like if you had silver and white and red, you can mix them together to get yours, your own unique blend of embellishments. So then I am going to take the backing of the foam tape off around this section, and I'm going to put down another piece of acetate to trap in my bits, because my green panel that's to the right there is slightly larger than my pattern paper panel, and I know me, I will not adhere that down straight if I'm trying to do it backwards. So I like to put down the acetate to trap in the items so that then I can add some liquid glue and adhere it down and see what I'm doing. This is a good way. I learned this from Cassie Trask a long time ago, to make your life easier when making shaker cards, to just add an extra piece of acetate, and then you have a little more control with placing it down. If I was just going to do a different piece of paper that wasn't my backing, I would add that little strips, little pieces of it behind my shaker windows to trap in my bits like I just did with the acetate, but I wanted it to be one solid panel, so I didn't want to I didn't want to mess around. So I'm adhering this to my Slimline card base. It's cut a little bit smaller than that Slimline, and then my pattern paper piece is slightly smaller than that. And so I'm just going to do some liquid glue around the foam tape and on the acetate, all of it, just to make sure that I get a good adhesion down to my card base. And then once I get that lined up and where I want it to be, I'm going to add the foil paper, the trim that I had cut out earlier. Words are hard. Frame is the word that I was looking for. I'm going to adhere those down with some liquid glue. And then from my stash, because I put this all together and didn't think anything about stamping, I could do a sentiment strip off and, stamp it on the side like a little strip of cardstock. I opted to go with a sentiment, which is from a Tim Holtz sticker collection. But I did take a multi-liner and just draw in my string for my ornaments. I did this first one freehand, which surprisingly it came out okay. The second one I opted to get my ruler because it was going straight up the card. I did not want to have a wonky line. So I used that just to show that these were indeed ornaments. And then I will add the sentiment, which is a sticker from my stash, and that is going to complete the project for today. I believe it said Merry Christmas on my little sticker. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them for me down below, and I will have another holiday video for you on Friday. I hope you have a great day.